Charly Mattei returns from a pleasant trip with his son Anatoly. When they get to the city, they find traffic where a street artist is performing. Anatoly requests to watch the performance, so Charly agrees to drop him on the street while he goes to park the car. Charly exits the car in a happy mood, only for masked men to ambush and shoot him severely. Charly falls to the ground, remembering his past life, knowing fully well that the demons of his past have caught up with him. After many hours in the operating room, the doctors extract all 22 bullets from Charly's body. News of his shooting is broadcast all over the city, and one man tells Tony Zakir the news. Zakir is very upset by this, but it's clear that he is now a big-time mobster since he has a lot of bodyguards and lives quite lavishly. Meanwhile, a police detective, Mary Goldman, takes an interest in the case once she realizes that Charly has ties to the mafia. Mary's superiors dissuade her from investigating the shooting, as in such cases it's better to let the criminals take each other out. Despite this, Mary takes on the case as she has some personal reasons. Her husband had been murdered a while back, and she suspects that Zakir's men had been behind the assassination. She wants to clear her husband's death and move on. Mary visits Charly at the hospital, intending to question him, but the latter remains silent. She soon leaves, sighing in frustration when Charly's lawyer Martin shows up to speak on his behalf. Kareem wants to avenge Charly's attempted murder, but Martin advises him to wait until Charly gets well. Elsewhere, Mary gets a phone call threatening her to drop the investigation. The call shakes her, but she does not quit. One night, an assassin disguises himself as a doctor and approaches Charly's room. He shoots him several times in the head and leaves just as the hospital staff rushes into the room. Fortunately, Mary had moved Charly into another room before the attack. Hoping that the killers might show up again, Mary sets up a surveillance crew outside the hospital. One day, Zakir visits Charly, inquiring about his well-being. He is happy that Charly is alive, but as he leaves, he discreetly gives Charly a folded note. Charly learns that the police are watching him. Charly soon feels better and is picked up by Martin and Kareem. Mary sees this and tails the car, resulting in a high-speed chase. Kareem calls in a favor from a friend, and the friend abruptly parks his car before Mary, slowing her down and allowing Kareem and his friends to escape. Kareem takes Charly to a warehouse where he is holding one of Zakir's men captive. The captive admits that it was Zakir who had sent the masked men after Charly for quitting the gang. Zakir fears that Charly might cause some trouble in the future, hence the heinous act. Charly is shocked by the betrayal but lets the man go, feeling he wouldn't resort to his old habits. Soon, Charly reunites with his family, and all are excited that he is alive. Kareem is kidnapped shortly after by the man they had held captive. After being discredited as a mole, the man hopes to regain favor with Zakir, but he is immediately shot. The men mercilessly torture Kareem before killing him. They then cut off one of Kareem's fingers and send it to his family to warn against ratting them out to the authorities. Charly is deeply saddened by his friend's death. At the funeral, he sees how Kareem's family cries and it breaks his heart. There and then, he swears vengeance upon the men who are responsible for such despair. That night, Zakir's men are making merry when Charly appears before them. Since they've let their guard down, Charly quickly takes control. He tells them to bid their goodbyes to their loved ones as their time with them is limited. Suddenly, Charly shoots one of the guys dead since he recognizes him as one of the masked men due to his watch. Charly starts eliminating Zakir's men one after another, making Zakir furious. He sends a team to Charly's house as the latter is nowhere to be seen and neither is his family. Zakir's goons vandalize Charly's house and Martin finds the disaster left behind. He quickly drives to Charly's hideout, not noticing he's being tailed, and once he gets to Charly at the beach, he shares everything that has happened. Charly quickly realizes something is wrong, but before he can act, Zakir's assassins arrive. A fierce shootout ensues, with Martin trying to flee by boat, but he is apprehended. On the other hand, Charly escapes using a motorcycle, causing the goons to chase him by car. Since Charly is a bit distracted, he crashes into 2 police cars and is taken in for questioning, so the goons leave him alone for the time being. Mary interrogates him but is later released since the police have no grounds to detain him. Zakir is celebrating his daughter's wedding, not knowing that Charly is on his property. Charly captures one of Zakir's goons and forces him to copy data detailing Zakir's drug and illegal operations. Zakir finds the man dead, unleashing a fury inside him. He now knows that Charly is out for blood, so he orders his men to capture Charly using whatever means. The goons get to work and kidnap Anatoly and his sister Ava, who are being picked up from school by a caretaker / Charlie's close ally. Anatoly's kidnapping soon reaches Mary and the police start investigating. They manage to get Eva, who is badly bruised. She explains that she was left alive to pass on a message to Charlie. He either surrenders or Anatoly will be killed. Fearing the worst, Charlie makes a bargain. He ambushes Mary in her car and makes a proposition to work together to save Anatoly. Unfortunately, Mary arrests him. Soon, news of Charlie's arrest spreads like a bushfire, reaching Zakir. However, Zakir is angry that the authorities got to Charlie before he could. Having no other use for Anatoly, Zakir sends his goons to eliminate him. The goon quickly exits Zakir's place, not realizing that Charlie, a free man, is tailing him. Anatoly is being cared for by a kind guy who feels sorry for him. Soon, Zakir's goon arrives and tries to take Anatoly to eliminate him. However, the guy steps in and knocks the goon out. He then starts unbinding Anatoly's hands, but the evil goon gets up and stabs the kind guy to death. The evil goon then grabs Anatoly and takes him to his car. Simultaneously, Charlie is struggling to free himself from the barbed wire that he had trapped himself in when he tried to sneak into the compound undetected. Just as the goon is about to leave the confines of the compound, Charlie frees himself and jumps on the car's hood. The goon tries to kill Charlie, but the latter easily overpowers and eliminates him. Charlie takes his son home, where he reunites with his family and has his wounds cared for. Charlie tells his family to relax now, as he has eliminated all the people who had caused him harm. The following day, Zakir is preparing breakfast when Charlie shows up. Charlie reminds Zakir of their friendship. He now has a family and wants to devote his time to them and has willingly left the entire business to Zakir. Furthermore, he's willing to forget the entire incident if Zakir promises to let him go. Zakir seems to be pondering this information, but suddenly he dumps hot coffee on Charlie, distracting him and causing a fight to ensue. Zakir has an advantage over the weakened Charlie, but gets distracted when he hears some noise outside. Charlie quickly turns the tables and viciously hits Zakir for his violent acts against Kareem. It turns out that Mary had made a deal with Charlie earlier. She agreed to say that he was in custody in exchange for information about Zakir's criminal empire. Charlie is also arrested, but the police have no evidence that he's committed any crimes and he is released. On the way out, he calls Martin to pick him up. Charlie asks Marty to accompany him into the parking lot where this whole madness started. At the lot, Charlie shows Martin a spot on the wall near where he had been incapacitated. Mary revealed to Charlie that one of the shooters had deliberately aimed at the wall, showing that he did not want to hurt Charlie. Martin confesses this and asks Charlie to get out of the car while holding him at gunpoint. Martin claims that he had been asked to accompany the masked men by Zakir to eliminate someone. He had been so surprised when he discovered the target was Charlie. Martin kneels and pleads for his life, apologizing for how things went. The first gunshot echoes in the empty parking lot, and Martin opens his eyes to see Charlie shooting at the wall. In the last scene, Charlie has fun at the beach with his family. Do leave a comment telling us your favorite part of the movie. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next recap. Until next time, folks, take care and goodbye.